Hello, and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 126. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the man without a beard, Gary. How are you, sir?
There's still some hair left.
There's
I can feel it.
There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there, and it scares me a little bit.
I wish there was nothing there. That would be nice.
So, okay, I guess we got to start here. What happened? Where's it gone?
Well, what I did was fix. There's this device you can buy, and it's about a year long with a blade on the end of it. Yeah.
And
just
you
kind of went to town.
So, is there a reason behind it?
I fancied a change.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. Is everyone okay with this? Is the family, everyone that matters, are they okay with it?
Like, everyone's fine with it, but everyone's like, oh my god, you haven't got a beard. And I'm just like, yeah, I know.
So to you, it's not a big deal, but to everybody else, it's a big deal.
Everybody else in the world, it's like, oh my god, what have you done? Like, I shaved.
It's a big deal to me, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm looking at you now, I'm just like, this is strange. Of course, I still love you. But it just looks weird. This is My Xbox and Me, the weekly Xbox podcast brought to you by myself, MC Fixer, and Gary. So I don't ever say last names. It's too informal. If you want to get the show early, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer, or you watch it live on twitch.tv/mcfixer when we put in our Facebook group that we're going live, or you might just catch a notification. Sort of how it works. Besides that, you can get us on iTunes, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and Google Play. I haven't done a show in a while, I feel like, and it's probably not been that long. Besides that, am I missing anything? This week's episode is brought to you by Mike Lynch and Words About Games, but we'll hear about them a little bit later. Gary.
Yo.
Topic of the show this week is Far Cry 5, so leave that out. But what has been in your box this week? What have you been playing, my friend?
Alright, I gotta start at A Way Out because I fucking love that game so much. It was so good.
So A Way Out, obviously the game brought to you by Hazelight Studios, multiplayer centric. I got to go to the review event, the preview event, and preview the game earlier on, which we spoke about last week. The game came out. I bought it, I finished it, you finished it, let's go spoiler free, and if people want, I'm totally down for doing this if Gary can fit into his schedule at some point, we do a spoiler cast for A Way Out. I'd be totally down for that. If people email in my Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com and say they want it, or hit me up on Twitter, and Gary on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, I'm totally down to try and fit that in. I would love to do it. Maybe even bring in some fans or someone who played it as well. But yeah, A Way Out. Go ahead, talk about it. Let's go.
So good. Such a fucking fantastic experience. I played it through with Keith, one of my co-hosts over on the other side.
Your brother. Your brother.
My brother.
Yeah.
And like just did it from start to finish. So like we did it all in one sitting. We took a short break, but yeah, mostly all in one sitting, from start to finish. I was really enjoying it. And then I got up to a certain scene in a hospital.
Okay.
And then I was like, fuck, this is amazing.
That hospital scene is fantastic. Yeah. I have the same opinion as you. The game is fantastic. It is well worth playing. I put it out on Twitter and even said I think it may be the best co-op game this generation. It is just such a unique experience that I said to me and Haley played it through, like you and Keith did. We did it in 2 sittings because Haley can't play games for long periods of time. So we did 5 hours or 4 hours. I think we did 4 hours and then did 2 hours after, my length was about 6 hours. I finished it.
Yeah, mine was about 6.
They said 8 to me at the preview event, which I knew was Death Math. Exactly. So yeah, that was an interesting one. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I said to Haley when we was playing, I could play one of these games every year. And my thought was, I don't know if you agree or not, but it's sort of the evolution of Telltale games. This is the evolution of how a Telltale game is very much, here's the story we're telling you, and you sort of paint your own picture. And it's similar with this, but a lot more narrative driven, where you're not really painting the picture, you're more like shading the picture, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But oh my god, it was just so good. Such an interesting story. It got to one point which let me down in the story personally, which was the protagonist, the boss, the enemy at the end. That whole segment I actually thought felt quite flat for me, but besides that, so good, so good,
so fantastic. Like you're right, it's such a great co-op experience.
For me, it's so unique. And obviously, Joseph Fares?
Joseph Fares.
Fares, Mr. Fuck the Oscars himself is so right with the way he directs this game and the camera shots and the world. It's not the graphically the best game in the world. You do see multiple of the same character models at certain points and stuff, but it never took me out of that moment. It never took me out of the game. The one thing that did happen to me, which I'm sure will be lucky for you, is I had the game spoiled for me in my Twitch chat.
Really?
Someone come in my Twitch chat and spoiled a key part of the game, which was a shame because it had me thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah. Like I was talking to Keith about it, and I was just like, I'd love to play it through again, knowing everything.
It's funny, I'm going to be playing it through again on Sunday, myself and Lucy Yearwood, Queen of the Indies. She was like, I want to play this game, but I don't want to buy it. I was like, well, just play it with me. I'll play it through again, because I want the achievements anyway, and that way you can play for free. And then she was like, okay. And I was like, cool, done. So we're going to be doing that again. We're going to do it Saturday and Monday. If you want to see it again, us play it. A lot of my Twitch chat didn't enjoy it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, they enjoyed watching me and Haley play, but they didn't actually enjoy the game itself. They thought it was quite flat and boring.
Damn.
Yeah. Very.
So many people.
Very interesting.
Tell you what, though, this is a banner moment. We just agreed on a game.
We did. This is put it down. Episode 126. Me and Gary agreed that a video game is good together. Will we hear about more video games that are good together? Probably not. Who knows?
At least.
Yeah. What else about that game? Again, it's so hard to talk about without spoiling it.
Just the teamwork and the way it just forces the teamwork.
Yeah.
So like early scenes, I'll talk about early scenes, like trying to retrieve the chisel. Stuff, and it kind of builds on itself. So one person does one thing, and then that lets another person do another thing, and then you've got to distract this person while this person is up trying to get the chisel from the windowsill. Stuff like that. It's so cool, and it's so organic as well.
I think it's just it's like mundane, boring stuff that they made interesting.
Yeah.
Like the scene when you're in the laundry room. I'm not gonna go into details, but it's just that was super like simple, but super interesting at the same time. The game can be as big or as small as you like as well. Like the big thing for me, the standout moment was all of the which I didn't spoil during my preview because I didn't want to, but was all the mini games during the game, because that was me and Haley are so competitive. So the whole time it's us two just screaming at each other like we were playing darts. And she hits a 140, and I hit a 180. I'm like, boom! That never happened. She beat me at literally every single minigame bar one, which was tapping buttons. I am the king at tapping buttons. So it was all good there. I would say go play it. Go check it out. A Way Out is definitely worth your time if you have someone to play it with. Yeah. And I say, personally, I did it, you did it sat next to someone, I did it sat next to someone. I think that's the best experience, especially for the end.
Oh, 100% for the end.
Yeah. The end part of that game,
You want to have the person you're playing in your eye line when
I did have. It got very heated. I can just tell you that, very heated.
I haven't actually watched your stream, so after this,
I think I'm going to break it out. I think I'm going to break it out onto YouTube anyway. I played as Leo.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, just interesting choice. Really enjoyed it. So definitely worth playing. Go check it out. Moving on. What else did you play this week, Gal?
Well, I play this little game called PUBG. I talk about it every week.
PUBG, yes, of course.
But I finally got my chicken dinner fix.
Solo chicken dinner.
Solo. That was the one that I wanted. I wanted the solo one. I wanted to prove to myself that I could win one of these fucking games. And let me tell you something. I've had a lot of matches in PUBG where loads of stuff's gone right. I've got good weapons, I've dropped in a good place, and I've died. And this game was fucking terrible, for me personally. I accidentally jumped off the roof of some apartments right at the beginning.
Of course, as you do.
I ended up having to swim across the river.
Oh no, that's always bad. Yeah.
In my first fight with someone, I got trapped in a house, and they seemed to have about 1,000 frag grenades.
Yeah.
And when I ran out to charge them out, I accidentally knocked the bumper and went into first person mode. And
Of
it was
course
just a
you did.
horror show. And
It
then
was just-
somehow
You gotta win.
I won.
So how many kills did you end with?
3.
That's not bad.
No, it was
not
alright.
bad.
Like I've had a lot of matches where I've had 4s, 5s, 6s.
Yeah. But to get a win with...
To get a win.
Yeah, that's okay. That's awesome. I'm glad you finally done it. You've done it now.
I was happy. I've done it.
So you're still loving PUBG?
I'm still gonna play it. Yeah, I'm still enjoying it. It was like what we talked about a while ago. I don't know if we actually talked about it on the podcast, where it brings people to Twitch. Like my numbers spike, so people come to talk. So sometimes I'll just put it on when I want that back and forth and that interaction. Although I will say that nobody turned up when I won my game.
Yeah, that happens. Trust me, been there, done that. And then anything else besides obviously the big one this week?
No. That's it.
Again, yeah. I was just about to say I haven't played Sea of Thieves since launch. No.
Yeah.
I think I think that's a lie. That's a lie. I played it with Haley once. Haley said, this is direct quote from Haley. Good thing she doesn't work for us. Haley's quote was, she come home from work. I was like, do you want to play PUBG? She was like, no. I was like, do you want to play Sea of Thieves? She's like, yes, I want to play Sea of Thieves. We played Sea of Thieves for an hour. Haley's quote was, I would rather be at work than play in this video game.
Does she enjoy work particularly?
No, she just broke up from school. So it was an interesting, and I was probably looking at her for like, what do you think of this game, Hayes? Like, because obviously I've got my bias about the game and I just don't like it. She's like, there's nothing going on. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, we tried every single mission type, and she's just like, no, I'm not. No, I'm good. I am absolutely fine. We got raided once. They stole our chicken. But besides that, it was just like, she's just like, no, this isn't for me at all. And I was just like, that's interesting. That's it. From a casual's point of view, someone who doesn't play video games day in, day out like us, it was interesting to see her be like, nah, I'm good.
I think from a casual point of view, it would probably be worse because there's nothing really in the world to do. Like, nothing to occupy yourself with. Like, you have to, like, essentially, mostly, say 80%, make your own fun while you're doing it. Like, yeah. I streamed it on Monday night with a couple of good friends of mine on the Average Otakus on Twitch. Never really get to play games with them, so we had a good time. They were super they were super like good at the game. They would do all the sales and they were like, super professional. And then I'd just be on deck getting drunk, puking all over Kirsty while she's trying to drive because that's just how I play Sea of Thieves, which is fun. But then you get into the actual missions, and we're doing tons of missions, and it's the same thing.
So, as I say, I already had like 15 hours on you last week. Now, what are you up to? Do you know your time roughly?
Probably up to about 8 or 9 hours.
Okay, and thoughts?
It's doing that thing I said last week. We were talking about it, where I feel like it is at a certain point going to drop, and it's going to be like, this is starting to get repetitive. And now I'm at that point where I'm just like, yeah, it's fun to mess around with my friends still. Yeah, it's fun to be dancing around and getting drunk. But the actual like gameplay, when we're actually like sitting down and going, right, we're going to do some missions. We're going to go and hunt some skeletons or find some treasure chests. And it's just like, it's the same thing over and over again. Like, I don't think it's a bad game, but I don't think it's a particularly good game either.
Yeah, I know we've got some emails about this later, so we'll definitely talk about Sea of Thieves a little bit more. But just the content just isn't there. This so reminds me of like an early access game where they're going to build upon it and build upon it and build upon it, and that's perfect when you don't pay £60 for it.
Yeah, I feel like if this was an early access game, it would be like, we'd all be like, this is great.
This is awesome. This is so fun. I feel like I said last week, if they just launched this game in early access and put it in Game Pass, wouldn't be a problem. But everything I just said will be contradicted as soon as we talk about the news. So, yeah, I'm the same. So Sea of Thieves, I haven't played PUBG, played a bit of Rainbow again today, just to play with those muscles again. Still good, so that's nice. and the big one, Far Cry 5, Gary. Topic of the show this week.
Shit.
Far Cry 5. So myself and Gary both received review copies for Far Cry 5 from Ubisoft. So I want to say a big thank you to Ubisoft for getting those review copies to us, which is lovely. As people who do this on a frequent basis, we don't always have the best. We don't get to get the games early. We had this game. I had the game since Wednesday. Thursday of last week. Obviously, we couldn't talk about it because we were under embargo.
It makes such a big difference to get it that early because you get it ahead of everything else. That means that the time that you've got to play games, you can use it to play Far Cry 5.
Exactly. It was, for me, I've now played, I just put it in my Xbox and my Facebook group, I have put in over 27 hours, I think, of Far Cry 5. Again, I've done the exact same thing as I always do, which is no main story missions, strictly side stuff. I've taken down 2 compounds, or 2 of the what happens with the map is it's separated into 3 different regions, with different members of the family that you are going up against. This Seed. There you go. Seed family. One of them has one of each region. So you are taking down their regions and then taking them out. I have done 2 of those, and that is strictly by just doing side stuff. I've taken down 2 of those.
Well, holy shit, no wonder you've played for 27 hours.
And I've played for 27 hours, like a ton of side stuff. The only main missions I've done are the ones that they force you into, which I want to start there.
The actual story missions as opposed to the story missions.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens is the opening of this game is, for me, fantastic.
So good.
Fantastic. The opening 30 minutes of this game are super dark and super gritty and super interesting, and you don't know if you're going to make it out alive, and it just does everything right in that opening 30 minutes of what I was expecting from this game. Did you enjoy the opening 30 minutes?
I agree. The opening is brilliant. Because you got to, so you go to arrest Joseph,
the father.
Did you do the thing where you don't arrest him?
No, I heard the game rolls credits though.
It does, because I remembered this from Far Cry 4, where he tells you to sit and wait, and if you just sit and wait, then you get the ending after you wait for a few minutes. So I was like, hang on, let me try something here. I streamed it, and I went back, did a new game thing, and then I was like, and I just waited and waited. Yeah. And then you just leave.
You just walk out. You're just like, no, I'm not doing it.
You just leave. And the sheriff I think the sheriff says something along the lines of like, oh yeah, if we try to arrest him, like it would have been a bloodbath or something like that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. I did the same thing as you, though. I did a 30-minute Let's Play this up on my channel, what I wanted to hit embargo with, and then I streamed when I hit the embargo streamed. Again, no spoilers for the game because I haven't really played much of the story anyway, but for what I have played, it's quite interesting. The main story quest of Faith, which is the sister of the family, her storyline for me is the most interesting one, which is... There's this drug called the Blitz, which is turning people into zombie-like people. It's like, again, I wasn't expecting that when I got to the game, so it was kind of interesting to be like, well, okay, there's these human beings that are all drugged up and out of their mind and pretty much zombified, and I want to know more, why and how, and I haven't quite got that so far. From doing side stuff, which is, again, that's on me. I'm doing side stuff, I'm not doing main stuff. But what she does do, Faith, is she will just turn up out of the blue and torment you throughout her whole region, where she'll be talking to you and trying to convince you to do bad things and stuff like that. And it's just an interesting way to tell a story, I think. Have you touched Faith's region at all?
I did. That's one of the regions that I've finished. So I did a lot more story stuff, so I think I understand a little bit more about the Bliss.
Got ya.
It's really interesting in the way it works, in the way you unlock story missions.
Yeah.
And, like the stuff where she just turns up, like you'll just hear her like humming or she'll be
singing
talking, and
or
just
whatever.
Look around, like,
yeah.
Just look around and oh fuck, she's on top of that camper van.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because but it's like the way it works is because you can do it with side missions, and I did it mostly with story missions.
Yeah.
It's essentially resistance points. So everything that you do, you get points. Once you hit certain milestones, it triggers the next actual story mission.
Yeah.
And Faith, especially the way it works, where you're just wandering around like doing your thing, and then you hit the the next milestone, and then all of a sudden, like everything just goes a bit white, and you just fall over.
Yeah, you're drugged out of your mind. Yeah,
you just drugged out of your fucking face. Like.
Yeah, and then obviously you go into the story stuff, which I'm not going to spoil, but yeah. So it's just interesting. That's an interesting way of telling the story. Which again, it's like you don't have to play it a certain way to still move along. Which I kind of like personally, as someone who likes to take down every outpost and then do all the star missions and then do all the side missions and then liberate and helping people. I'm not even doing like the American flag missions unless I really have to, which is cool. It's interesting. I mean, I've unlocked 6 of the 9.
The
companions. Yeah, so I've unlocked Cheeseburger, who's my new favourite. I've unlocked D-Dog, obviously, and the pilot chick as well. They're my 3 favourite ones, which they've all got their own separate like type of story behind them. Not much, don't get me wrong, but they've got character. I like it. I really like it, as I'm sure you can all tell because I've put so much time into it. And it's, again, people keep saying to me in my chat, it's like, what is it? Is it good? Is it better than 4? I've never played 4, I played 3. But it's like, is it good? Is it good? Is it good? And I'm like, it's good. I love it. It's more Far Cry.
Yeah, if you've played 3, you've played 4.
And if you've played 4, you've played 5. But it sounds like it's more Far Cry. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? For me, they do nothing new in this game. No, which is, it's a new world, which I love the world personally. I love it being in Montana. I didn't think I would, but I do. The one thing I'm disappointed in is I don't use my bow anymore due to the fact of the heavy nature in how many enemies are on you at one time that you just don't have time to. My playstyle is, and Mr. Moody summed it up perfectly, I am Arnold Schwarzenegger. I go in, and I'm blowing shit up, and I am shooting guns, and there's no stealth about me at all. Like, I really do try to be stealthy at the start, but as soon as it goes pear-shaped, I'm like, rocket launcher, grenade launcher, and I'm just like spraying everywhere. I'm running around, med kit, everything. It doesn't matter what's going on. But I like that, and that's how I like to play it, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people dislike it, the way I play, and a lot of people like to play, maybe, how are you playing? I'm sure you're probably more stealth than what I am.
More stealth, but there's always a moment where something goes wrong, and then I do this sort of the same thing. I just like, right, here, the assault rifle comes out instead of the silence pistol. It's like, okay, let's go then.
My favourite weapon is probably on the game so far. It is the silence pistol. Yeah, that is. I literally run around. I feel like James Bond when I'm doing it. I just run around and and then it goes shits up, and I'm like, rocket launcher! But
it's like completely different.
Oh yeah, totally.
Time to go loud.
Totally. They do an interesting thing where it's not. I don't know what the previous unlock system was like on 4, but it's not like it was in 3, which is you now earn perk points, which can be done by challenges. So there's different challenges, either it's for hunting or it's for combat or it's for driving. I don't know if driving's one of them actually, but it might be.
Yeah, there's a driving thing.
Okay, perfect. There you go. So you can do these challenges to unlock perk points, which then you can put into your characters to unlock your wingsuit or more health or another weapon slot, etc., etc., etc.
But what's cool is it's not as linear as it used to be.
No.
So before you'd have to follow a path where like the skill that you wanted was like 6 skills down the line.
Yeah.
Now, as long as you've got the points, you can get whatever you want, whenever you want. So you can start building your character the way you want from a very early thing. I think the first one I got was the extra holster for an extra weapon.
Yeah, I went health, holster, and then just everything everywhere else, to be honest with you. I'm playing on normal. I don't think the game's particularly hard. I do die, but I don't think the game is hard. The one complaint I guess I have about the game is there are a few bugs. I have experienced quite a few bugs in the game, which is it doesn't really harm the fun that I'm having. It sort of makes the game even funnier. Like I had Cheeseburger had a car on his back and just ran along with a car on his back, and I was just like,
oh my god, you're
okay,
Cheeseburger.
Okay. And there's a few other bits and bobs. Like I've been playing on the X. It runs fine. Load times are fine. I've heard people complain about the load times though from other podcasts I've listened to. How have they been for you?
No, they've been all right. The only consistent issue I've had is when I hit an invisible load screen, especially when I'm driving. the game will freeze for a second.
Okay.
As if it's like you hit like the invisible thing, and then it loads, but the game just goes and then you keep going.
Got ya.
Which can be annoying, but it doesn't happen too often because I tend to stick to one area, do a few things.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll be there for like an hour or two maybe.
Fair enough.
But from a performance, like it's okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like there's some bugs in it. It's an open world game. Unfortunately, there are just gonna be bugs in it.
Yeah, but I don't want to say that because I hate giving people a pass on it. It's like,
oh, don't
it's
get me wrong.
hard.
It's not like I'm giving them a pass.
No, but I know what you mean.
Things,
yeah. Am I missing anything really in particular that I'm loving? Like I say, it's just I needed a game like this personally. I needed, and I had open world fatigue, and I hadn't played many big open world games because I've been playing games like Rainbow, and I've been playing PUBG, and I've been playing Fortnite, and it was nice to come back and have an open world again. And the open world is fun. The one thing I will say is, from what I've experienced so far, and again, I have not been doing main story stuff, so maybe I could be wrong, but this is just my opinion with 24 hours in doing what I've been doing, is that the father is way underused. From what I've experienced so far, for a character that I wanted way more from. The opening 30 minutes doesn't have the same tone as the rest of the game. Which is a shame.
It is. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of the story, if I'm being honest. I like the way it's laid out. I like the non-linearity, and I like the way that you can kind of do your own thing in the world and still be progressing. That's good for me because I also have open world fatigue. I think anyone who plays as many games as we do has open world fatigue.
It happens.
So it's nice to be able to just ditch something I'm not enjoying, go do something else. But I've done a lot of the story missions, and I'm just... The way the story's presented, like we were talking about before, is interesting, but the story itself isn't. And it's weird because it's trying to shoot for a specific tone, but then the rest of the game is kind of a completely different tone, like the fun chaos of the open world and the one-liners and the stupid jokes, and then it's about like, and then in the very next breath, like one of your companions will talk about this time like she was captured by cannibals, and it's like I can't get into it. Like,
for me, again, it's so hard for me to like, from what I've experienced, which is all I can go on. The game has a very big opportunity to say something, but from what I've played, it's not saying anything. It has the potential to it has a character that I am super intrigued by with the father, and the side characters as well, with Faith and Jacob and Joseph. I'm like, okay, cool. I think it's Joseph. Am I right? I feel like I got that wrong.
Joseph's one of them. I don't know.
I can't remember the order. I think the father's Joseph actually. So Jacob, Faith. There's another one. There's another J. I can't remember his name. But whatever. The side characters are pretty meh. Honestly, Faith is my favourite of the three, but just because of her twisted nature, and I want to find out the end of that storyline of what's going to go on there. Jacob was interesting. He just ends up capturing you the whole time, from what I've played. And
then letting you go.
But I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because to me that makes sense, because the father clearly has a bigger plan for you than just to kill you. Because if he wanted to kill you, he would have killed you by now. Which, cool, I'm good with that. The baptized scene's quite interesting and quite intense from what I've played. But I agree with you where the story doesn't fit, from what I've played anyway, the story doesn't fit the world, which is like super dark and super angry and super gritty, and then it's super fun, enjoyable and crazy. It's like, it's hard to be in both, if I'm honest with you.
And it tries to go down the middle, and unfortunately, by doing that, it doesn't really do either thing.
No,
particularly well.
So far,
the gameplay is so good. Like, I enjoy the gameplay, but I'm at a point now where I'm just skipping dialogue.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, that's our thoughts so far on Far Cry 5. Anything else you want to add that we may have missed? I like the weapon skins. I like new vehicles. I like all that stuff. The one thing I will actually add on real quick before we finish on this is I dislike the fact there are microtransactions in this game. Why? There is no need for it. Like, I get it if you can buy a silver, which means you can buy all the super heavy armored guns and vehicles and stuff, but really, they just didn't need it. It really just didn't need it. And for me, it's just annoying. I get it. There's going to be people out there that would prefer to just buy their way through this game. But for me, it's just like, why? There's no need for it.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Anything that you can buy with silver, you can probably save up the in-game dollar currency for, like, really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't, again, that's the one thing I will say. The money is quite hard to come by, honestly.
It depends what you're doing. Like it's mostly geared around. It seems like it's mostly geared around fishing and hunting this time around.
Yeah.
Because you can't craft anything with the animals skins that you get like you could in the previous games. Now instead you just sell them, and it seems like that's where the best way to get money is from that.
Yeah. See, I've not been doing that either. I did a little bit of fishing, but nothing too major.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't tried out the arcade mode yet, but
no, that's the map builder stuff, isn't it?
Stuff like that. Yeah, but I will. Cool. Let's move on to your boy Mike Lynch, and he says, yo, what is going on, guys? I am Mike Lynch. I am still trying to get an affiliation over on twitch.tv/Mike Lynch, and I need your help. When you see me go live, jump in stream. Say hello. Don't spam emotes. Doesn't like that. No, he doesn't like that. But apart from that, just keep on being you guys and keep on supporting. From your boy, Mike Lynch. Twitch.tv/Mike Lynch. Thank you, Mike, very much for the support. Appreciate it. Also, Words About Games. You know them. You must love them. You must see them. It's Gary and his crew. They have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Words About Games. They stream loads of stuff. Go and show them some love also. Gary, new segment. Coming soon.
Coming soon. This time I put some effort into it.
Okay, so so this is the new segment we said we was going to add 2 weeks ago. We did it last week. You've adjusted it a little bit more. So it's new. The new games that are coming out this week with a little bit of information. Am I right?
With a little bit of copy and pasted off the store pages, so
Fair
people
enough.
actually know what they are, rather than just here's a bunch of game names.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And it tells you nothing. So there's 4 games coming out on Xbox One this week. When I say this week, I mean pretty much, mostly next week.
This week, from the date we record, which is the 28th, till usually
Till
around
the
the
3rd
next
of April.
time we record, yeah.
Till next Tuesday. So it's Wednesday today, from Wednesday till next Tuesday. The first game, fix, March 30th, Alteric. Jump through boiling lava, run from perilous traps and saw blades, glide and climb through catacombs, fall into the abyss, and overcome gravity. And don't forget to switch to a parallel dimension in time, because it's Alteric. Tells you nothing about the game, does it?
I'll skip
Really
it.
useful. Yeah, that was the entire description as well.
No, I'm good. No, thank you.
April 3rd, you got the Adventure Pals, which is an action-packed platformer about friendship, exploration, and riding your giraffe.
That sounds interesting.
It does, doesn't it? On April 3rd as well, you've got a game called Minute, that's MINIT, which is a peculiar little adventure played 60 seconds at a time. Journey outside the comfort of your home to help unusual folk uncover countless secrets and overcome dangerous foes, all in the hopes of lifting a rather unfortunate curse that ends each day after just 1 minute.
I heard about this one on the Rooster Teeth podcast, actually.
It's a Devolver Digital game as well, so...
Yeah, I heard about this one from the Rooster Teeth podcast. They were talking about it. They were enjoying it. Have you played it at all or anything?
Not yet, no. I did get a code for it.
Cool.
But with Far Cry and The Way Out. I'm gonna try and do just sit down and play it for an extended period of time, so I can try and have a review out for launch day.
Fair enough. That sounds interesting. Gary's bringing up his microphone. That sounds interesting, so I'll check that one out maybe.
Last game. This one's quite an oldish one that's finally coming to Xbox, which is Terra. Which is basically an MMO. It's an MMO with real-time combat. Almost.
I'm sort of in.
Real-time combat.
I'm super in. I want an MMO. I'm still really upset about Marvel Heroes Omega. Still hurts. It still hurts. And I remember downloading Terra actually on PC. So if they've done a good job with the control scheme, I may even give this a go.
I think it was launched when I played it. So that was many, many years ago. I imagine it's different now.
Better,
as all
hopefully.
MMOs are. Better, I'd hope so. There was potential there with the real-time, almost real-time combat.
Yeah.
So if they've managed to map that to a controller really well, then it's going to be a good MMO to play on an Xbox.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the news this week, Gary. And like I said, more Sea of Thieves coming up. Sea of Thieves is Microsoft's fastest selling new IP of this generation. Rare has announced Sea of Thieves is Microsoft's fastest selling new IP of this current generation and already the best selling first party game on the Windows 10 store. A week after release, the game has hit 2 million players, although it's not clear how much of the portion of that base is accessed through Xbox Game Pass, which offers Sea of Thieves as part of the monthly subscription. The statement wording which announced that Sea of Thieves is the, quote, fastest selling first-party new IP of this generation led to some speculation as to whether the developer was saying that it was true across all platforms, but a tweet from Aaron Greenberg made clear that the statistics applies purely to Microsoft. The game has also seen success. I need to get a bit of water. 1 second.
Don't worry about it.
Losing my voice there. I apologise. The game has also seen success on streaming platforms. More than 100,000 players have streamed Sea of Thieves since launch, reads Rare statement, resulting in more than 10 million hours watched in the last week. This bums me out. Which, again...
It was always going to be popular on Twitch because of the type of game it is.
100%. Not this bums me out because I didn't want them to do well, of course. Because I do. Obviously, I want Rare to do well, and I'm so happy that even if I dislike the game, there are people out there that love the game way more than what I do, and more power to you. This bums me out because of games like Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, like games that I loved. If they had the Game Pass and stuff like that, maybe they would have saw sequels and been given a little bit more love, which is crazy. But more power to Rare. Congratulations to Sea of Thieves, obviously. Does this, again, there's a lot of people out there that are obviously Game Pass, which is what they wanted. This is the whole point in Microsoft. They wanted this. Like, I look at it like, oh, well, they didn't earn the $60 or the £40 or whatever, but they got people into the ecosystem now of paying for Game Pass, and we all know how many people are going to let that lapse. So,
yeah, so there's plenty of people out there who have probably already cancelled it.
Oh, there's a ton of people out there that's already cancelled it, but there's a ton of people who wouldn't have been given Microsoft money either way. Yeah. But they're gonna just forget or be like, oh well, Far Cry not Far Cry or State of Decay 2 comes out in 2 months, so I'll just leave it until then. And then there'll be another game, and they'll leave it till then, and then there'll be another game, and hopefully, fingers crossed.
That would be nice.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, there'll just be reasons to keep it.
Isn't it? It's like there's probably a ton of people who have bought Game Pass who like wouldn't have bought Sea of Thieves. So Microsoft got your tenner instead of 40 quid, 50 quid, whatever it is. It's still more money than they would have got.
100%. Like, for me, it's one of those ones where it's just like, can you believe it? Can you believe that 2 million? That's awesome, and that just tells you that Game Pass is definitely the way forward, because we're getting this. We're getting results. Sea of Thieves needed a world that is compact with people, and it has that right now, which is obviously fantastic. I just remembered that Game Pass put some new games in that I totally forgot to put in this week's news, which I'm trying to find, so give me a second. To carry on, next piece of news is Hellblade. Hellblade, is it Senua Sacrifice will be released for Xbox One on April 11th. Developer Ninja Theory shared the news in a post on Twitter, confirming the game will have enhancements for the Xbox One X. Those who pre-order the game or purchase Hellblade during its first week of release on the Xbox Store will also get a 10% discount. Gary, I want everybody to scream and shout about this, and I tell you why. Because whenever we get an exclusive from PlayStation, you don't see the articles. But now, I want us, the Xbox guys, the team, the people, to shout and scream and be so happy that we're getting this. I cannot wait. I really cannot wait. Like, you've played it, right?
I've played it.
Is it worth playing? I've heard so many people say it is.
I can't remember the exact placing, but I'm pretty sure it was top 5 in my games of the year list last year.
Wow.
It was amazing.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Play it with headphones, and you will not regret it.
That's what I've heard. Playing it with headphones is like the way to go. Like, that's what you're doing. You play it with headphones.
There's no two ways about it. You have to play that game with headphones.
Fair enough. So now we've got this that's come over. Crash Bandicoot's come in.
We won.
We're winning. Not quite. We'll get them late, but you know. And I got that list up of the Game Pass games, so let's go through that story real quick. Microsoft announced the next game slated for Xbox Game Pass in its all-you-can-eat service. Is the most notable new addition is the RoboCraft Infinity, coming to Xbox on April 11th. As noted in the announcement, this is also makes its first idea Xbox to join at launch. So this is a big one because I personally put in the My Xbox and Me Facebook group that whatever, these games were pretty weak, which is City Skylines, the Hunter Call of Wild, Kingdom New Lands, Portal Knights, Cluster Truck, Scared, I don't even know what that is, and Late Shift. So there's a bunch of games that personally I didn't care for, and looking at the trailers, I didn't care for. I was very much told I was wrong because this is big news due to the fact that obviously RoboCraft is going to launch in Game Pass, which people are like, that's a big deal, obviously, which I totally understand that being a big deal. I just don't see the game mattering to me. What do you reckon of all this? What do you think?
I haven't heard of half of those games. But, so what's the deal with RoboCraft? It's an ID at Xbox game that's launching directly into Game Pass.
Exactly.
That is a big deal. Because then you've got like old games, brand new Microsoft exclusives, but now we've got ID at Xbox games too.
Yeah, so it's more a big deal for it launching and then not so much the game that it is.
Yeah. The game itself. I'm sure there's people out there who are going to love RoboCraft. I'm personally not one of those people, but no. It's a big deal for what it represents and what the next one of the ID at Xbox games is going to be Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Is that going to launch in Game Pass? I fucking hope so.
Yeah, it is. That'll be an Xbox exclusive, so it will, yeah. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. For me, it wasn't a big deal, but people didn't like my... I thought it was kind of weak. Obviously, we got City Skylines and the rest of what I just listed, which I'm up for City Skylines. I'm down for that, but everything else in there, I was just a bit like, oh... I
wanted to go for about 20 minutes.
I got Cluster Truck already for free on Steam, so it was like, yeah, nah. PUBG players can get a free limited edition 1 year anniversary weapon skin. So have you seen the big news about PUBG? That they're adding...
I saw the new map.
Not the new map. That's not the big one right now. The new thing is they're adding emotes and weapon skins to their game. Emotes, yeah. Okay. So they're taking, obviously, what Fortnite has with the emotes and bringing it in, which, for me, I think makes no sense in PUBG.
No.
It makes sense in Fortnite, but it doesn't make sense in PUBG. But the weapon skins is something that may just be quite a smart idea. And maybe the new thing that's going to make them a lot of money.
It could be. I get you. I don't get the emotes. Because,
the emotes does nothing for me.
I'm not going to emote ever
when I play that game. Not when I'm playing PUBG. I do want to do Fortnite just to annoy people.
Yeah,
but
100%.
But I don't. Yeah, I take PUBG so much way more serious.
Fortnite's like the cartoony, fun battle royale game, and PUBG is like the serious, battle royale game.
That's how I see it.
I like PUBG and I don't like Fortnite.
Me too. No wall building.
Holy shit.
We agreed.
Twice.
We agreed
in one podcast.
It's crazy. But yeah, PUBG is celebrating its 1 year anniversary with a free limited edition weapon skin available to download. The title was launched on Steam Early Access. Blah 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 blah. It's for the Scar L, and will be coming soon. I assume this is going to come to Xbox at some point. Hence why I've added it in. Maybe before, if they're going to add the skins in before. So I just wanted to let people know to keep an eye on it. So maybe it will come soon. Who knows? Talking to Fortnite, Gary. Fortnite continues its reign when it comes to breaking records, having smashed YouTube's record for the most uploaded videos of a video game in a single month in the history of the platform. YouTuber Ryan Wyatt shared the news in his tweet, also mentioning the turnout for the huge Battle Royale event this week. And the tweet said, "How big is Fortnite on YouTube? Fortnite holds the record for the most videos related to a video game uploaded in a single month ever." That's crazy, beating out Minecraft. That's crazy. And the Battle Royale tournament had over 42 million views and set a record for the single biggest live streaming gaming stream with 1.1 million concurrent viewership. So obviously we had the big news with Ninja a couple of weeks ago with his 600k with Drake. This was a Spanish YouTuber who's done it way bigger on YouTube, which feels like a little bit of a pissing contest between YouTube and Twitch. Like 600k, we did 1.1, and it's like that's all well and good, but I still prefer Twitch as a live streaming platform. But good on YouTube, of course. I wish they would just all get along, honestly. I hate the fact that I can't stream to every single one because I'm a Twitch affiliate, which now means you're not allowed to stream at the same time as on YouTube. And it's like, oh man, my life would be so much easier. Will I do it anyway? Possibly, but who knows? Just don't tell anyone I did that. Who knows? Don't clip this. We've got a couple more left, but
Cool.
Which is experience Doom in 4K on March 29th when Doom launches in blah 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 in 2016. We're cutting edge, blah blah blah, load of crap. But who cares? Doom is in 4K on March 29th. If you care about 4K Doom, that game's already really good looking, so in 4K that'd be really crazy. So cool. One that I don't want people to start screaming about, but it is true. EA is hiring for a Star Wars open world project.
Of course they fucking are.
Go, please.
They closed Visceral, who were making a Star Wars game, and then they took the assets and they put them in EA Vancouver, who are now making an online focused Star Wars game. How is this surprising to people?
If a recent job listing is any indication, EA Arts Vancouver studio is working on an open-world Star Wars game. The listing, discovered by GameSpot on EA Vancouver's careers page, is set for a lead online engineer who will lead a team to deliver online features for the new Star Wars open-world project. End quote.
And they really want to let you know that it's online. Online.
This one, do you see this one going on Twitter? There was a little bit of beef. Ryan McCaffrey got in a little bit of heat for no good damn reason, but sure, let's go for it. Microsoft can now ban Xbox accounts for offensive language. An update to Microsoft Terms of Service is rolling out in May for Xbox, Skype, and other streaming and other services that the company provides, which can result in account suspension and bans of the use of offensive language as well as fraudulent activity. The new Terms of Service goes live on May 1st, with Section 5 of the summary changing reference amended to the Code of Conduct. Quote, in the Code of Conduct section, we clarified that using offensive language and fraudulent activity is prohibited. We're also clarified the violation of the Code of Conduct through Xbox services may result in suspensions or bans from petitions in Xbox services, including 4G or content licenses, Xbox Gold members' time, and Microsoft account balances associated with the account. So, this goes out on IGN. Ryan McCaffrey tweets at your boy Mike Yerbara, I believe, and the update IGN have put up on this page was update. Well, the terms of service have changed below. Xbox Mike Yerbara on Twitter says, quote, there is no policy change on Xbox Live, end quote. A Microsoft spokesperson also provided the following statement to IGN. Quote, we are committed to providing our customers with safe and secure experiences while using our services. The recent changes to Microsoft Service Agreements, Code of Conduct, transparency on how we respond to customer reports of inappropriate public content, end quote. So they did change the service. Mike's saying they didn't change the service. Apparently, if you swear now, you can't. You can get banned. What do you make of it all? Do you care?
Swearing seems a bit far. Like I know, like. Definitely, we should be good. I work at Xbox. Sorry, they should definitely be going after offensive language, offensive content, harassment, abuse, everything like that. 100%. I'm 100% on board. Swearing seems a bit much, though. Like I swear all the fucking time.
It doesn't say swearing. It just says offensive language. Yeah, I swear all the time. I obviously, as we all know, I swear all the time. But I kind of get it to a certain degree, which is not. I don't agree with obviously swearing. Like you can't ban me for swearing. Surely, come on.
Please don't ban me.
But I do get I get so many racial messages. Like I get so many, and I get so much hate messages and obviously voice messages, and I had sex with your mum messages and everything else. So it would be nice if they took it upon themselves to start screening some of it and like banning people saying no, not to do it. I'll admit, even people in my chat who are like, they're little arseholes. I love them to bits. But I say to them, why have you been banned from Microsoft Communications? Oh, I got angry and I sent them. It's like, no.
Don't do that.
Don't, no. You're better than that. And if you're not better than that, go away. Like, seriously, I've got no time for it. I really don't. I really don't.
100% behind you on that one.
Like, don't send people horrible messages. I know, and it's so hard, and it's so easy for me to say this now, because I know in the heat of the moment I want to do the same thing, but just ignore them, report them, do what you're meant to do, and just be a nice human being. Don't come down to their level. There's no need for it. It just doesn't help anybody, in my opinion.
Nailed it.
Xbox Games with Gold for April was revealed, literally just before we done this podcast, thank God. And it's a good one, in my opinion, which is the first game, April 1st to April 30th on the Xbox One. You have The Witness. Going alongside that, from April 16th to May 15th, you have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. How do you feel about those two?
Well, The Witness is a great game, if you like that kind of non-linear puzzle game. The Assassin's Creed Syndicate was a really, really as well. I really enjoyed it, especially coming off the back of Unity, which I don't like to talk about.
Unity was terrible. Never played Syndicate. And obviously, you know how much I love Origins. So,
Origins was way better than Syndicate.
Haley was playing Origins the other day, and I was like, watching her play, and I was just like, man, I should play this. I should get that. I need to get that DLC, dude, because it's so just good. I'm itching. I've got the itch. But I'm like, I had a way out, and I've got Far Cry, and I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah. But I think that's a great two games. And then on the 360 side of things that can be played on your Xbox One, of course, is Disney's Pixar's Cars 2, which I'm fucking hyped for. People think I'm joking. I know full well that's an easy 1000G. I'm in. And Dead Space 2, which I never played, but I have Dead Space 1. So I am totally down from that. Sorry, Cars 2 was from April 1st. Is it co-op? 3's co-op.
3's co-op.
Got ya. No one likes 3. April 1st to April 15th for Cars, and April 16th to April 30th for Dead Space. Don't forget, last chance to get the March Games with Gold, which is Trials of the Blood Dragon and Super Hot. And on the Xbox 360 side, you have Quantum Conundrum. So, which Mr. Moody still stands firm on all bad games. All of them. Gary, should we get into Fix the Sack? Again, it's an audio podcast, Gary. You need to say words.
You think it was like words about games or something?
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. You just segue straight through. If you want to email in, you head over to myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, just like these amazing people did. We've got 2 emails this week. Again, we need more. Please, if you're listening right now, wait till the end of the show, or do it right now, pause. I don't care either way. Email in questions. You want to hear about Far Cry? You want to hear about A Way Out? You want to hear about whatever? Email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. This one says, hi, you mentioned my follow-up email last week, but didn't read the original one. This is probably why people don't email in. About the potential of Microsoft taking over Sony. I've listened back to the previous podcast, and it wasn't on it. You robbed me of my 5 minutes of fame. I'm so upset. Ha ha ha. Regards, Reese the Renegade. Reese, I'm pretty sure I remember reading the email. But do you know what I think happened? Sometimes I check the emails before the show. I must have read it, been like, that's a good email, and forgot to copy it into the doc. And then read the follow-up thinking, oh, I've read that, and I know. Apparently not. So last week's email made no sense on the show, hence why people probably don't email in.
Yeah.
Reese the Renegade, here is your 5 minutes of fame. Please don't cry. But thank you for emailing. I'm sorry. So the question was, if I remember rightly, what do you think the odds are on Microsoft buying Sony? Instead of it being, because obviously there was talk a while ago with it being they were going to buy Valve and they were going to buy EA and they were going to buy somebody else, PUBG. That's it. Reese decided to come in and be like, well, why don't I just buy Sony instead? No. Why?
Never happen.
Why?
For the same reason they'll never buy Valve. The Valve won't sell to them. It's not nothing to do with, like, the price would be astronomical.
Of course.
Like, so much more than Sony's worth. And also, I mean, PlayStation is doing amazingly well in terms of sales and and profits and stuff, but the rest of Sony isn't.
No, that's very true. That's very true. And they won't sell, obviously, just the PlayStation division.
They won't sell the only thing that's keeping them in
doing well. No, exactly. Exactly. I totally agree. But yeah, just an interesting one, food for thought. And our last email this week says, "Hello, you sexy lovers. I hope you're doing well, kicking butt and playing some Xbox. Gary, you asked me to do this. You asked for this, so don't hate me, lol. Is Sea of Thieves Microsoft's No Man's Sky? Once again, don't hate me, Gary. I love you. Keep kicking butt. Your friend and lover, Mr. Moody." Gary.
Yes, Fix.
You went on a little bit of a rampage on Twitter about this. So
Yes, I did.
Do you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Is Microsoft's... is Sea of Thieves Microsoft's No Man's Sky?
No.
Okay,
why?
Why?
I get it, right? It's lacking in content.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% understand and agree.
Mm-hmm.
No Man's Sky was also lacking in content. However, with Sea of Thieves, we got more or less the game that they told us we were going to get. There just wasn't very much of it. Whereas No Man's Sky was going to have all this awesome stuff in it that it didn't, and they never said it wasn't going to be in the game at launch. Like, that's the difference. So when I see people, like, it pissed me off because I saw a bunch of people just say, "Oh, it's No Man's Sea," like they were being really original and funny.
Of course.
And I was like, it's not that. We need to be better than like shitty reductive comparisons just because it'll drive clicks. And I still love you, Mr. Mooney, even though I know you did this deliberately to get a rant out of me.
I agree. I think it's stupid. It's a stupid comparison. How can you compare something that someone literally was on shows saying, "This is going to be in the game, and this is going to be in the game, and this is going to be in the game, and this is going to be in the game," and then you get to the game and it's not there. There's nothing there. There's this not the same thing. See, Rare never oversold Sea of Thieves. We built up Sea of Thieves ourselves. If anything, we was expecting different animals and different food types and this and that and this and that, and it just wasn't there. But that was on us. Well, that's on us. We were hoping. They wasn't. They didn't say it. So that's the big difference. So yeah.
Yep.
Gary, we've got to start promoting something, which is EGX Raised. Or Rezzed.
Oh, God.
I don't know how you say.
Oh,
I know
God,
it's
so
coming. April is almost upon us. I know for a fact that myself, Gary, and Haley will all be at EGX Rezzed. Yeah. So if you're gonna be there, please email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. You can still get tickets. Me and Gary will. Okay, I need to clarify this very clearly. Very important. Me and Gary will be there to work. I will also be running. We'll do a My Xbox and Me meetup, which I'm totally down for, and stuff like that. But there's a big difference because when you go there to work, you have to actually work.
Yeah.
And people don't quite get that, which is like, I'm just going to chill with you all day. I'm like, no, you're not, because I got to work.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can stand in the back and be very, very quiet, but that's the best I can offer.
It's awful. Like, obviously, I've got a ton of emails I'm already doing. I want to do interviews. I want to get a ton of coverage for My Xbox and Me, which I'll talk to you once this ends. I think we'll talk about it real quickly. Okay. Apart from that, yeah, please come. Please do a meetup. If there's enough of us, I don't care if everyone comes back to my house. We can just sit around and drink, whatever. I'll probably be editing video because that's what I'll have to do. But yeah, you're more than welcome. We can figure things out. But it's going to be a lot of hard work.
Working and entertaining.
Entertaining, yeah, trust me. But it should be a good one. So if you want to come, please do. I know, again, Haley doesn't... Now I've got Gary with me, which is going to be interesting. Haley can probably entertain you all, so she'll go off with you. But me and Gary can work. So
this will be a first, yeah.
I'm actually really excited for an event to be like, all right, well,
there's two of us. It's like I'm not by myself.
Like, well, let's do this type of thing. So it should be interesting. Besides that, keep being you guys. Let's plug, and get ourselves out of it, Gary. What you got to plug this week?
I mean, I was going to do the usual, but then you kind of plugged me in the middle of the show with that twitch.tv/wordswithoutgames. Do it. Go there.
Yeah.
That's where I spend most of my time these days. Streaming everything I can think of, because Twitch is just so much easier than YouTube. It just really is.
Yeah, it is. It's not. It's really not, though. It's funny people say that. People say, "Oh, it's so much easier." It's like, it's really not. I actually had an argument. We went to a party last Saturday, and not an argument. I shouldn't say argument. I had a discussion, And just on a quick tangent, which was someone said, "Oh, what are you doing with yourself now?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a content creator." It's like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, "It's like, oh, you're a YouTuber." I was like, No. I'm not a YouTuber. Like, there's a big difference between a YouTuber and a content creator, in my opinion. Which is, I create content for multiple platforms, and a YouTuber creates content for YouTube. I said, if anything, I'm more a live streamer than I am anything else at this current moment in my career. And it's like, oh, that's easy. You just sit there and play games for 8 hours, for like a multiple time. And I said, oh, cool. It's like, he said, oh, that's what I do on a weekly basis anyway. Just sit there and play games. I mean, that's cool. How about you do it in front of camera, number one? So if you're not good in front of the camera, you're going to struggle. Number two, you've got to be entertaining, which even I still struggle with. Kind of hard to do, I'll be honest with you. Number three, obviously get the equipment and do it. He was like, oh yeah, capture cards are really expensive, isn't there? It's like about £100, the one I've got. Yeah. He was like, £100? I'm not paying that. That's ridiculous. It was like, but you just said you can do what I do. Yeah, I could if I wanted to. And I was like, Joe, well, get the fuck out of here.
£100, that's just the capture card. Then you've got the high quality cameras, the microphones, the equipment, the software, the everything.
The PC,
I just want to clarify. I wasn't saying it was easy. I said it was easier than YouTube.
No. I'm not about you. I'm about this gentleman that thought I just sit there. Do you know what I find funny though? Is the people that say you just sit there and play games. I tell you what, you sit there, play games, try to be entertaining to no one in your chat. Then come talk to me. For 8 hours a day, which is what I do. Which lately I've been a bit off because my teeth have been killing me. But guaranteed at least, what have I done today? I've done about 6 hours today. So it's like, come on. It's crazy. But yeah, anything else to plug?
youtube.com/WordsAboutGamesUK. All the reviews that are coming up are 99% probably going to be Xbox reviews, so you'll find them over on my Xbox Me channel anyway, but we still do other stuff over there.
You do.
Come check us out.
Indeed. Yeah, again, twitch.tv/MCFixer. If you've got that Twitch Prime, give it to your boy MC Fixer. I'd appreciate it. Patreon.com/MCFixer is what keeps the lights on. If you're not a supporter, please consider supporting. One day we'll be able to pay Gary. One day, hopefully, maybe, possibly. We'll see one day. Be interested to see how the business changes by then.
I know, right?
One day.
Doing full-time content for my Xbox and be like, wow, like what would I do? I couldn't just do reviews. I'd have to do other stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'd be interesting, but whatever. Don't reminisce on something that's nowhere. We're not even close. Not even close yet. Besides that, yeah, like I say, youtube.com/MCFixer. I've got a Far Cry 5 Let's Play up right now. A Way Out. All the Way Out chapters will be up. I'm not sure whether to break them out bit by bit or just throw them up as one big video. I'll probably break them out bit by bit, but I did this weird thing with the chapters where it didn't break each chapter, which was frustrating for a YouTuber's point of view because now I've got to go through and try and cut it to where it's meant to be. The life of a YouTuber.
That's why Twitch is easier.
Besides that, I don't think there's anything else. Keep supporting this show. If you watch my Xbox and Me, please email in. I really do appreciate it when you do. Please consider sharing it. Please consider everything. And I love you, leave you, and I'll see you all later. Thank you all. Bye-bye.